telling your story on WCBI Sunrise with Kealy Shields.
Well, Parker Mccollum is a two-time ACM Award winner and CMT Award winner, topping the country music charts with hits like To Be Loved by You, Pretty Hard, and Handle on You. And he's kicking off his latest tour, What Kind of Man, by stopping right here in North Mississippi. He sat down with me to give a glimpse of what fans can expect.
You know, it's kind of funny. Our show goes all the way up. We like to rock pretty hard, and then we take it all the way down and try to break your heart a couple of times in the middle there and end it by taking it all the way back up. So I love sad country love songs. It's hard to play those for an hour and a half in an arena. So you got to have something to, kind of keep the energy up, which we certainly do. But man, we come out and try to be a real band and rip it the old school way. And, there's nothing on stage with us that's not the real deal in real time. So I'm really proud of the show we've put together for this tour, and I just look forward to having a great show in Tupelo.
So you have Cameron Marlowe with you and William Beckman. So talk to me about the relationship you guys all have and how they amplify the tour.
Well, William Beckman is as talented as anybody's ever been, probably in the history of music. He's a Texas guy, so it's nice to have a little Texas on the road. Never a bad thing for us. But Cameron Marlowe is kind of like William in the sense that just so freaking talented. Both unbelievable singers. Both love real country music. Man, they've just been such a joy to have on the road. And I've known both those guys for a good while now, and hopefully they enjoy being on my tour. I'm pretty intense on the road with my schedule. I like to stay pretty, in a routine of working out and getting my food in and getting my sleep, and then trying to put on a great show every night. So I don't stay up super late anymore. I try to, that's not very good for the longevity of the year. By the time you get to the end of the year, if you hadn't been behaving well, it certainly shows. So but they just been, man, they're such a joy to have on the road, and to have two guys that are that talented playing before you kind of makes you up your game every night.
So you were just talking about your schedule. Talk to me about what's like a typical day in the life of Parker on tour.
It's, golly, I think people all the time say, man, I want to come on the road with you for a weekend. And I'm like, well, it's pretty underwhelming. But, I try to get into the gym sometime right before or right after lunch. Get a good workout in. Depending on how I slept the night before, a lot of times there's a nap in my future once I wake up. But, I like to try to be as much of a routine as possible, which is difficult on the road. But I try to stick to one of the best that I can. So I try to get in the gym every day, eat a ton, have a lot of protein, a lot of water. And then I'll start warming up probably an hour before meet and greet, and then I'll warm up for about another 30 minutes between meet and greet and showtime. So, like I say, it's pretty underwhelming. The tour life is not very fun until the lights go down and the show starts.
So you've already had several nominations for different awards in your career. Talk to me about a goal that you have for yourself on this tour, and then a goal that you have for yourself within your career.
The goal on this tour is just to be consistent. I always kind of equate touring to, like basketball and stuff, or football. You got guys that have trained their entire lives to play one sport, and they go out some nights and can't buy a bucket, and then one night they'll go out and drop 50. And touring can kind of feel the same way a lot of the time. So, some nights you feel like you sucked, and then the next night you feel like, it's as good as you're ever going to do. So I just try the real goal for the tour is just to try to be consistent and, never too high, never too low. But as far as the career, I don't know. I've been so blessed to do so much so quickly in my career, and God's been so good to me. I feel guilty asking him for anything else. But, I think just, trying to, when it's all said and done, just have the respect of my peers in the business, and have carried myself. And honestly, it sounds kind of like a cheesy answer, but if my family is really proud of me when it's all said and done, of how I carried myself and how I represented where I come from, in the public eye and on the road and in the business and all the stuff. That would be a bigger win for me than any award or any sold out show.
Mm-hmm. And you're homegrown from Texas. How would you say that has played a role in your writing, and I guess everything in your music career?
When you grow up in Texas, wanting to be a songwriter or a country singer, you have an abundance of really, really great, historic, legendary artists. And the best thing that ever happened to me was my older brother, Tyler, 6 years older than me, was just in love with, really identified with great songwriters at a young age. So I was even younger than him. I mean, I was a literal child, and was just, absolutely obsessed with raw, honest Americana country music songwriters. And those are the guys I wanted to be like. Those are the guys I'm still trying to be like. And so I think, there's just a standard in Texas of, no BS. You can't fake it. You got to be the real deal. You got to get up there every night and do, the best of your ability, but you got to always be thinking about, the people that paved the way and making sure that you're honoring them and with the songs you write and with the show that you put on. So that's always top of mind for me.
Are there any collabs that you want to do with any other artists that are on your list?
That's a long list. Everybody from John Mayer to Dolly Parton to Willie Nelson. You name it. I just country music is everything that I've ever loved, and that's a long list of people I'd like to collab with.
And, country music, I feel like the genre has kind of changed in the last few years. It's kind of gone a little pop. You've got rock in it. How would you say that you fit into this, I guess, new genre that country may be going towards and still sticking to what you grew up on?
Well, I don't think I fit in. Country music used to be very narrow, and now it's very wide. It's kind of hard to define the genre now. And I've never been one that's been too big on genres, but for me, it's just I think I'll always just be trying to be a country singer. That's always what I wanted to do, and I've never done the pop country thing or I've always written songs that I thought were honest and real and could stand the test of time, and that's always been top of mind for me when creating, and I don't think that'll ever go away. So the wider that the genre gets, the less I probably fit in. But luckily for me, there's still a small spot for me. So hopefully it stays that way.
And your tour is named after your hit song, What Kind of Man? What is your favorite aspect of that song?
I think just it was so random. I wasn't really trying to write that song. I didn't have the line or the hook. When I write songs, I just sit down and kind of freestyle over a melody. And once I have a melody that I love, then I'll kind of start spitting out words, and that was kind of no different with What Kind of Man. And I just sang out loud, "Look at that! I done stayed up all night again," and which I've done probably 1,000 too many times. And so it just I know when something is worth my time and attention and effort, and that song was no different. But I didn't sit down to write that song. I just kind of sat down and that song wrote itself.